Hey, welcome back to Creating Hanley, where we are all gold stars here at Creating Hanley. Hey, I am Kimberly. I am the gold star today at Creating Hanley, and you too are a gold star today here at Creating Hanley. So, in a previous video, I had mentioned that I wanted to do a special star for our So a Star Full of Years, Quilt-Along, Quilt-as-you-go star block of the month. And I wanted to do a special kind of like Hollywood-esque type star. And so here it is. Here's my gold star. Here's our gold star. So this really isn't our like May star block. I am going to do a different star block for May. But I just wanted to throw in this gold star and show you kind of what I had in mind. Now I shopped for a black background that had gold flecks. I couldn't find a black background that had gold flecks or a black fabric that had gold flecks, but I did find a fabric that had silver flecks in it, silver like little specks, and that looked really pretty, but it wasn't gold, and I was really going for gold. So I just used this black broadcloth, just this basic I forget if it's Kona. I don't think it's Kona fabric. It is too see-through for Kona. But anyway, it is a black quilter's fabric. It's just a basic broadcloth. And so I just used a 12 by 12 square. Just a regular 12 by 12 square. And then as I was shopping for that background, I shopped for gold fabric. So in a previous video, I had mentioned that I wanted to do a kind of like a memorial star, like an in memorial or in memoriam star. And you can even use this star, this gold star, for your favorite kid or, you know, whatever. Somebody gets a gold star for being a great whatever person. But my idea was to like embroider their name across here, birthday and transition day into the new realm as they're passing over into the new voyage in whatever next plane we go to after we leave this earth. So that was kind of my idea behind this star, or the creation for the idea for this star. So that was my idea, and I just, wanted to do like, a Hollywood-esque type of thing. Now they use, it's a stone in the ground, so, on a sidewalk, so it's a little bit different, but I wanted to do something kind of like that. Anyway, so I went shopping, and I couldn't find the black fabric with gold flecks, so I didn't buy the silver one. But I did find full disclosure, I just went to Joann, and they always have a remnant section. They always have a remnant. And so I did find some fabric, some gold fabric. Now this is lame, and I have lame already from several years ago. I did a Christmas flange, and maybe we'll do that sometime, but I did like a Christmas quilt, and I put this as a flange around some of the squares in the Christmas quilt. So maybe we could do that at some point. But I used gold lame for that. So I do have some left over. But I found this in the remnant section, and I just picked it up. I also found this in the remnant section. This gold. This is a little bit different. This is called liquid satin. It's 100% polyester. So all this stuff is polyester. Actually, lame is nylon. So this is metallic lame. So this is nylon. And then this is polyester. This is a little bit different. So there's this. And then I found this, which is even more different. Now, if I flip it over, you can see the difference here. This is also polyester, but this is called crushed satin, I believe. Where did my tag go? Anyway, oh, right here. It's called crushed satin. Again, it's 100% polyester, but the way it was packaged, just let me show you guys. The way it was packaged was on the back end. And I liked it enough. I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty. Now it's a very matte. It's not shiny at all. It's very matte. And then when I just opened it up, like a few minutes ago, and I opened it up and I saw this side. I was like, oh, you know what? They rolled it up backwards. So the way I can tell that is by the selvage edge. So you can see the selvage edge. This looks like the front of the fabric, and this looks very much like the back of the fabric. So boy, am I glad I picked that up, because they did package it backwards, and even backwards, this looked pretty. And I actually thought, maybe I'll just use this part for, for the gold star. But no, I did not. I used the shiny part. So what I did was I took my Quilt-Along, this is 931 TD, Quilt-Along 931 TD, the fusible interfacing. So this is the smooth side, and this is the side with the glue on it. And I just took this, and I just took this, and I put the glue side to the back of this fabric, and I ironed it on a low heat, because now in a previous video, we did the fire video, it showed that fire melts nylon or polyester. So you want to make sure that you don't melt this fabric. So I used a low heat, and I ironed this on, and then you take, where's my already done piece? So here's my already done piece. So once it's ironed on, it is a lot more workable. It's more, it's stiffer. It's not so liquidy like this. This, you try to put a template on top of here, and it's not going to work. So you stabilize the fabric with this, and then you put your template on top of that, and then you cut out your template. So I just used this star paper. I just found a star template off of the internet, and I printed it out on paper, and then it's fuzzy. And then I just took, little Scotch tape donuts, and I taped the template to this, taped the template to this, and then cut out around the template. And this is exactly what it is. And then I just appliqued it on here. Now the fancy part is this fabric. The crushed satin is the fancy part. The other fancy part is the stitch. So you can see the thread that I use. It's this gold thread. This is Coats & Clark Metallic. It's in gold. And I used this in Christmas a couple years ago too, some Christmas quilts. Now this is tough to work with. So if you work with a special thread, you have to adjust your machine. Now I had my pressure at about 3 or 4, like typical quilt. Don't do that. It keeps snapping. It snaps this fabric, and then, or I'm sorry, this thread. It snaps the thread, and then you have to keep working with the machine. So I took it down to a 1. Now let me show you what happened, and that fixed the problem. That totally fixed the problem. It didn't snap after that. But let me show you on the back. Now this stitch line right here. This is a blanket, so I used a blanket stitch. So this is a blanket stitch all the way around. I just appliqued the star on with a blanket stitch. Now you can see on the back, this is what it was in the beginning with the correct tension. So that looks right. The rest of this looks very wrong. It very much looks wrong. See how all these loops are? It's all too loose. It's very loose. However, I don't care, because it works on the front and it didn't break. So as long as you don't put it through the wash, I think you'll be okay. So to include this in your quilt might be a little tricky. Now what I also did was I missed an edge. So right here I missed an edge. You can see my finger goes in there. I missed that edge, and I wanted to go back and re-sew over that. But again, I didn't want to work with this thread any more than I had to. So it continues to break, and it doesn't do that. So obviously I'm probably doing something wrong. But anyway, it's done, it's appliqued, and that's how you do it. You take your fancy fabric and you stabilize it with your fusible interfacing, okay? And again, you can use whatever you have on hand. I just have this on hand, and anytime I go to a store that has a remnant, I might pick something up. Or if it's on sale, I'll get a bunch if it's on sale. So this again is Pellon 931TD. 931TD. And this was just the crushed satin. And you could try to use this kind if you want to. This is the liquid satin, and this is lame. Lame is way different though. So it's a little bit different to work with. So you just make sure you, get this on pretty good. Now this comes off relatively easily if I just pull it apart. So, be careful about that. And then just put your template on top, cut it out, and then just not embroider, applique it directly onto your background, and voila, you're good to go. Now, I originally wanted to put somebody's name and their birthday, death date on here because this is for me, this star is an in memoriam. But I have a bunch of people and I'm only going to make one. So this is just a generic star that I'm going to use in memoriam, and I know what it's for, and I can look at the star and just have all kinds of lovely thoughts, right? And just pay my tribute to those people, and let that just be right there, right? So you can use it however you'd like. So the other thing that I wanted to use was this invisible thread. So it is, I can't even, yeah. So this invisible thread, I can't even find the edge of it. Here we go. So the invisible thread. This was a lot more difficult to work with than even this. This was difficult to work with. So if anybody has secrets out there on how to work with a metallic thread, leave that in the comment. And if anybody has any extra secrets and tips and tricks on how to work with nylon thread or the invisible thread, leave those in the comments too. I even tried to keep it, on a looser tension, and it still wasn't working for me. So something's wrong. I either need to change the needle or the feed dogs, or I don't know what I need to do. But I was thinking of taking that invisible thread and just taking a really close stitch right along the edge, not over top of the blanket, but because I have this gap in there, I was just going to take that invisible thread. Now you're still going to see like the thread. You're still going to see like the indentation of where it is, but it might be a little bit cool to use that instead of just a regular cotton thread or whatever you have. So anyway, that is our project for today. I just wanted to throw that there. Okay, hopefully that helps somebody. And stay tuned for our next Star of the Month for May 2023. And whenever you're watching this in the future, I am sewing along right with you. So we are doing it in real time, right as we sew, watching this video. All right, guys. Thank you for subscribing and watching and playing along and sewing along with me. I appreciate all your likes, shares, and subscribes. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next video. Okay, see ya. Bye.